Hi everyone, thanks for watching this install video I put together for you. If you like the video, do me a favor, please like and subscribe to the channel. I have more videos that have to do with upgrading, installing, and a variety of other things, so feel free to check it out. Let me know your thoughts. This right here is an example of the products and materials that I used and the wiring that I used, how I wired it all up. And the next part of the video will show you how I access the different areas around the wires. And at the last part of the video, I'll show you the finished install, and we'll take a listen to everything and see how it sounds. Also, I'll put some links in the description to some of the products that I used. So the way you run your wires and access this pillar to access the rear speaker wires to splice in is you remove this simply by using your pry tools and lifting up underneath. This pops up, and then come over, do the same thing on the back. You'll obviously move your floor mats out of the way, pop this, same thing, it will pop up, and once you wedge under with the mats, and then you can remove this door pillar by pulling here and then working your way and pulling this all around and pulling it down at the bottom too, and this piece will come loose to where you can just set it off to the side and access your wiring in the pillar. So the easiest way to get this back seat to fold down, there's a little mechanism behind there. Now there is an aftermarket part that I'm going to get, and I'll do an install video on that, which is pretty quick and easy. I think it's like 15-20 bucks for the attachment that goes back there. Little hookup and strap that allows you just to access from here, pull it to pull the seat down. But for now, it's a little bit of a pain to get open. The easiest way to do it is, this is where the seat releases. So once this seat's up, the way you can drop this back down is pull this release. Okay, so that's important because you see when you lift this up, it creates space to get your hand back there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift this. I'm gonna fold this seat down real quick, give it a little extra room. So as I lift this up, it opens up space back there. And once there's space back there, I can go ahead and access. See, there's a little button right there. So if you get underneath it and pull it up, you click the seat up all the way, get underneath and pull this button up like that. Now this seat is released. So what I want to do is come back over here, pull this, release that again, and then the whole thing will come down. And then that's how you access the back. Here's a close look at the mechanism so you know what you're trying to do. Is this button right here snaps down when it's in place. So to release this seat, you need to take and pull it upwards. Easiest way to do that is have this full bottom seat lifted up, creates the space, makes it so it can unlock, pull that, and then when you put it away, it's gonna be the same thing. This right here will line up into here and clip back down into place, like that. And then you're fully locked again, and that's how you get into the back of the seat. Alright, so running the power cord in my 2019 F-150, you loosen up this boot, you just pry it around, peel it out, pull it through, and then I cut the two zip ties, one on this side and one on that side, to loosen this boot. This is so I can get a factory type of install with the power line. So now I fished this through, which took a little bit of manipulation, but once you get it through, you see this opens up right here, and from the back hose, which is, it's really snug back here, so you're gonna have to stretch it as you're feeding the power line through. But you can feed the line right through this boot, give it a factory look and install, and then once it's all the way pulled through, then I will put this boot back in place and get a nice firm weather tight fit again. And then from there, of course, I will take it and I lifted up the trim, and then I'll just run it all the way down underneath there, come around, run it through this channel here, and then bring it up to the back and run the feed out. That's where I can hook up the amp. It's back here in the back area, somewhere back under there. From the other side, you can see that's where the boot is, right there. And then I'm gonna run the power line up to here. I will snug this up a little bit more, but this is just temporary for now. And then I mounted my fuse right there, bring it around, and then hook up the battery. Wrapping up the install of the subwoofer and the wiring and everything, so it's all running through here. I spliced into the rear on this side, tucks back under here, fished everything through, back underneath here, and ran it out. Other side, same thing. The wires, I gotta do some wire management still. Maybe I'll do a quick portion of this once it's all cleaned up and organized, but wires run through here and fished it back up behind there, and it comes out the back right there. Same thing, these wires were fished through. Now I ran the remote wire and the power gauge wire on this side, remote being the base knob remote. I did run the remote power turn on line on the other side, but I didn't actually hook it up to a tap fuse because it's actually not necessary. With my amp has a high input, speaker level input turn on. So, and then you can see right here, I actually went through, I took off the zip tie on this side and the other side of this grommet, pulled the grommet through, and then actually fished my power line straight through the grommet and then zip lined it back up. So it's you know, like factory install. Looks really clean, it's neat. I do have to decide where I'm gonna run this base knob to. So the power line comes out from the boot down there, runs up here. I'm gonna tighten this up and snug it up, put the loom on it, connects to power here. And going back to this other side, the remote wire, like I said, here's the remote wire. I have it on a tap fuse, but I didn't plug it in. I just have it ready in case I ever need it. But this amp, like I said, automatically turns on with the speaker level inputs. And back here, like I said, I'm gonna clean this all up and get it looking nice. But here's where I put the ground. You can see it's right there. And I just ran it behind this, so it's neat and tucked away. Once these wires are tucked away, and once that's tucked away, this will all be nice and neat. Just figure out how I want to attach this. Shouldn't be too hard. And then the box that I built, custom built box to try to get as much cubic feet out of just the under two-seater. It's right here. You see it's a really nice fit. There's where it kicks from below. So all in all, I think it turned out well. Here's the look once I put the loom back on. Give you that factory install. It goes down. I may put one more strap right there just to lift that part up a little bit more, snug it up. But other than that, we're all done in the engine compartment. And here it is coming through that grommet I was talking about. Once the loom is on, see, it looks nice and clean, gives you that factory look. The install is done. So let me show you how the wiring is set up on the amp. So the red cable is the cable that's hooked up to the power. I showed you how I ran that. This black cable here is the ground, which is connected right there. And then I feed it down through below. And then these two cables here are the speaker wire, and these run to the actual speaker box that has the subwoofer in it. And this is the remote bass knob wire, and these are your incoming high-level input speaker wires. So these are the cables that I spliced into the rear speakers, and this is what turns on the amp when it receives a signal from those speakers when I've got the stereo on. Now on the other side is your controls on this particular model, and you have your basically your crossover, your bass boost, and your input sensitivity. So this is matched up perfectly with the actual subwoofer I'm running, and the connections are all very clean, so I'm able to run the sensitivity all the way up. I don't have any distortion, everything sounds good. I don't use the bass boost at all because I'm not trying to increase a certain part of the bass response. I just want all the bass to be the same. And the frequency, I think I have it set around 80 or so. And that just cuts off anything higher than that. That way the subwoofer isn't playing your mids or your tweets. And the infrasonic filter I have set to on. You can see that the wires, or the cables, are tucked in back behind everything. Did some cleanup wire management here. That runs through out right here. And that comes across and connects right here to the speaker box. And then the speaker box is tucked in nice and neat under the seat, giving a nice clean install. And here in the front you can see the bass knob remote line runs back behind this carpet. I tucked it under and runs under that trim, and then it comes out right there where my mat is. And then I currently have it just tucked in right here where I can access it and make all the adjustments that I need and just tuck it back when I'm not using it. And I've done that because I'm not ready to make the permanent modification yet to actually mount it somewhere, because once I make that modification, if I don't like it, then it's going to have that permanently there. So something to think about before I actually make that mod. For now it's fine just sitting there in the cubby. And the install is done. Next, let's listen to it. Alright everyone, so we're doing the audio test after the subwoofer amp install with the custom built box in the previous video. And I'm in the truck with it running. I've got the windows halfway down, and you can see that we are at quiet office to conversation. Now I'm going to play some music. This is YouTube approved music, so I don't have any kind of copyright issues. So I'm going to play it with the bass knob all the way down, but on top of that I will go ahead and turn the bass knob up while we're listening so you can see the comparative difference. The volume I will turn up to, let's say, level 23, and then I'll also do one with the quiet volume so you can see the difference as well. So let's start this off. The knob's down. Turn the knob up. Turn the knob back down. Okay, so there's sample one. Go to a little quieter. So this is on level 14 with the bass knob down. And then I'm going to turn it up. See how it kicks up when that bass hits. Bass back down. do it again with the beat going. So it's all the way up. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back down. So definitely a difference in sound. Now I'm going to do it with the windows down partially. Okay, that's bass knob all the way down. Okay, put the bass knob up. Alright, so I've got the audio on the back with the subwoofer bass knob all the way down. The subwoofer is putting out sound, but the knob is all the way down. That way I don't have to disconnect anything. I'll show you the audio visual on it. And then all I'm gonna do is turn the bass knob up and you'll see the difference. Back to the front. That's level 25 with just the front sitting. And then this with the back. You can feel it. Put some links in the video description. Thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the videos, please like and subscribe.